Honestly, Gina, it was one brave action after the next. It was one decision to listen to my heart and trust it enough to follow it. It was one like deep breath. Do I, contract and hide and try to control everything? Or do I expand into risk and trust where my desire is leading me? Like that has been the process that not only brought me my husband and now my family, but my career, like everything beautiful that I have built has had a component, and not even just those things, like sisterhood, leaning into sisterhood, building such a beautiful friendship with you and so many of our other beautiful friends in Bali, like rather than being in the like, will they judge me? Am I this? Am I that? Just like leaning in, pouring in, showing up with love. Like we are always given the beautiful opportunity to like contract in fear or to expand in that like desire led, risk taking, self trust and trust in the universe. And that's what we get to build our lives from.
I feel really called to ask you this. I don't know why this question's coming into my mind. What's one of the dumbest kind of fuck ups that you've ever done in business or in life, actually?
The dumbest oh my God. Like where to start? Oh my gosh, I'm just having like a movie play in front of my head. One of the dumbest, like one of the biggest mistakes or like a stupid thing that I've done.
Anything that comes to mind.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes people think, and people think this about me and sometimes about my guests, that we've just done really well in all the ways, and they're like kind of failing at something and they're like, I'm obviously using, and I'm like, no, I have got a whole plethora of fuck ups I could tell you.
Okay. Well, the one, the one that's coming to my mind right now, if Lexi listens to this, she will appreciate this because she knows this one. Because we're talking about relationship, I'm just thinking back to days in my relationship with Toby, earlier days. I'm thinking back, I can't remember if this was 2016. It must have been 2016 because we got married in 2017. But one of my favorite fights that we had of all time, we were just like bickering about like stupid shit, hadn't really like learned how to navigate. And please don't hear this and think that we don't bicker. We like got into a stupid fight about something this morning, but we were arguing about something, and I just remember Toby walking over to my dresser and kind of like mimicking. Do you publish these on video or just audio? You do
Yeah.
publish them on video as well. So he was like mimicking everything I was saying. He was like, "Nyeh, nyeh, 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 nyeh," and then proceeded to like pick up my clothes out of my dresser and throw them. We were living in a house in a Balinese compound, and like threw them out the window one at a time at a time. And I was just like, what even is going on? I feel like I'm on an episode of Jerry Springer right now. Like this is so freaking dodgy. So I don't know if that's a fuck up, but there was definitely some like gnarly bits of our relationship that were so like not, a ceremony of hand on heart, the other hand on the other's heart, gazing into each other's eyes lovingly, communicating through our shit. Like there was some like just super immature, dumb shit. And moments like I remember once Toby and I got into a fight. We were living in that same house, and I like went out for a drive and I pulled over by the side of the road because I was crying. And at that moment, Angel Lexi was like driving by to her house, and she saw me there in this random part of like Sueta and pulled over, and we had this chat. And anyway, so many moments where like now what I experience as a really healthy and evolved and beautiful, and not without its humanity. I mean, hello, nothing like having a baby to like press your buttons sometimes, but a lot of that immature way of relating we've outgrown because we've learned through it. And I
Mm.
think whether it's in relationship or it's in business, we think, oh, if I do that, I'm doing it wrong. Or if I have those like immature mess ups or a failed launch. And like I've done entire podcast episodes on my podcast of like failed launches, from 2018 to last year. and how I've grown through those and what they've taught me, and how they've also led to like, 6+ figures in revenue from like a tiny launch just from upsells and continued client relationships. So, but I think we hear about like the failure or the fuck up and we think, oh, that means I'm doing it wrong, or that means I'm bad, or that means I've missed the mark, or that means I'm not high vibe enough, or that means this is the wrong person. And what I think we really cut ourselves short with when we do that is we omit the like super rich learning that becomes part of that process and how that actually leads us to where we get to grow and expand into.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying all that. I just feel like, great.